$17.99, but today I'm going to give you an extra $300 off. Oh yeah, and I'm also going to give you a special write-up on how to set up the trust bank account. And the reason for that is because a lot of you guys, not knowing the magic words to say, you'll go into the bank and say the wrong thing. And what happens is then they get their legal department involved for no good reason at all. And it just blows the deal. So I tell you exactly how to present yourself, what to do step by step, so that they will open the account every time. And I've helped, I can't even count how many people do exactly what I'm telling you tonight. So we're going to be able to do this together. It's not going to be difficult for you. And how many of you would like to work with your spouse without killing them? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Well, Janice, my wife, and I actually work together. She handles the property management side of our business. I handle the buying side of the business. It's a beautiful thing. And so we created a CD called Working with Your Spouse Without Killing Them. And we talk about the benefits of having a working relationship. And it doesn't even have to be your spouse, but someone else on your team that helps you out, and how it's best to separate and segregate the responsibilities so that you can create a very successful company doing it. So we tell you step by step how we do that. Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm including all those for you as well. All right. So go ahead and fill out the form, and we're actually going to deliver these to you tonight, so you have an opportunity to then be able to, and I've got to actually get this label on your order form, okay? And then that will enter you into our system. Now you will also get a free webinar tomorrow. And let's see, when I fax these to the office, they will be sending these out. You'll be getting a webinar. You'll also be getting my new book on the Secrets of Trust Revealed. I'll be sending you that as a link as well. So there's all kinds of good. You'll be surprised how many extra things that I'm going to be giving you along the way. Because we're not just, like, this is not our one time seeing each other. We're just getting started. We're going to see each other over and over and over again. And that's the kind of relationships I build with my clients, long-term, multi-year relationships. And I like being able to help people be successful in real estate. Because remember, I came from nothing. I came from the financial ground zero without having anything. And so without having a family, you guys are my family. And I love real estate investors as a great family and entrepreneurs that actually have a design for their lives and they can see a better life. And so how many of you want a better life than the one you've got? There's no other reason to be in this room than to have a better life than the one you've got. And that's one of the great things that this does, is it actually gives you an opportunity to have a completely different life. And I've proven that. My wife and I have been to Egypt and Israel, Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Turkey, Greece, Australia, New Zealand, China. We've been all over the world as a family, and it's been awesome. This planet is amazing, and you got to go explore it. And I want you to have a retirement plan where they can't take it from you, where you're not waiting for the government to send you a check. There's a different way to make money, and there's a different way to set up your future. But we've got to protect the assets that you already have, and then as you acquire new ones, put those into trust. Is that a good thing? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, I hope you're taking advantage of that. Go ahead and fill out the form. And that's correct, right? There is no sales tax, correct? So it's the $14.97. That's the end of it. Tax title. And we're going to deliver it to you, so there's no shipping either. All right. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Quick one. In land trust of one state, title properties in other states?
Well, isn't that an interesting question? The answer is yes, it can. Now, you can do two things. One is to just merely, if the property is in the other state, you can go ahead and set up the trust in the other state and actually have it construed under the laws of that state. But an advanced strategy is to actually put the property in trust in the other state and have it construed under another state's laws. But that's advanced, and we'll talk about that Saturday. That's a very good question. Any other questions? Wow. Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your name
first.
What's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I just was wondering, because for corporations, they have a term for peers corporate veil. And do we have a term to just peers in the trust veil?
It's called a lawsuit.
Yeah, lawsuit.
So basically, anyone can sue anyone over anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they get in a thing called deposition,
Yeah.
they have to reveal whatever is true, right, in the deposition. Now, here's an interesting concept. When you use the layered trust strategy, that means that the real estate went in a land trust, and there's a trustee here. But the only thing this trustee knows is who the beneficiary is. Now, what if the beneficiary, the only thing this trustee knows is that it's another trust? And the only thing this trustee knows is the name of this trustee. But they don't know who the beneficiary of this trust is. Are you with me now? So guess who's in the line of fire? It's the land trust that will be sued, and it is that trustee that will be asked questions. When you equip them with information, they give information. When you don't equip them with information, they don't have any information to give. Does that make sense? That's how you set it up. And that's the reason I absolutely love this structure, because one flows into the other, but this one doesn't know what this one knows. Now this one knows who the beneficiary is, and it could be an LLC, corporation, or a partnership. Good plan? Yes, sir.
What's the advantage of having, I understand the trust is owned by another trust, but the difference between being a personal trust versus another land trust or regular, in other words, a different type of trust. What's the advantage between personal trust versus another trust that is owned, you own the share of the first trust?
So in other words, if the property's in the land trust,
Right.
could it be in a living trust that could be the beneficiary? Is that your question?
No, I'm saying the shares of that first trust is owned by another trust. You mentioned a personal trust. What's the advantage of a personal trust versus another trust that owns those shares?
Because the interests of a land trust inside the trust convert to personal property.
Of course.
So as personal property, it goes into a personal property trust. It's
But you
designed for
can
personal
still
property.
own them into another trust. Another trust can own those shares.
Yes,
So what's
Yeah.
what?
because this trust is designed to hold any asset
Right.
that is stocks, bonds,
Sure.
mutual funds, bank accounts,
Sure.
CD. Why? Because the language in here supports the ownership of those assets.
But a regular trust can do the same.
Go ahead.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's an advantage by creating a personal trust versus just another trust.
Well, again, it's the paranoia scale.
Right.
Depends on where you are on the paranoia scale. Some people are quite satisfied just to put the real estate into a land trust and
Sure.
have themselves as a beneficiary.
Sure.
And not go the second layer.
Right.
So the second layer is an additional layer of protection. So if you think, just as your question was, Kevin, that hey, could anybody get through there? Pierce the corporate veil, pierce the trust veil. Yes, they could, but what would they find? Another trust. And that would be your saving grace. When they get through here, all they're going to find is another wall. Now, if they were able to get through here, what would they find? If you made the LLC the beneficiary, another wall. And I'll teach you some other good stuff too. Like the beneficiary of the personal property trust could be an out-of-state LLC. For example, Wyoming has the very best laws of the entire country. By far. Forget Nevada, forget Delaware, forget New Mexico. Wyoming is by far the best location. And you could establish an LLC in Wyoming for $100, no kidding, like not $800, but like $100, and it could be the beneficiary of these. Because all it is a holder of beneficial interests. That's all. It's not doing business. So that actually creates another opportunity for you. I'll be teaching you more about this because there's some big tax strategies and tax benefits to doing it this way as well. I'll talk about that more on Saturday because I want to lay the whole thing out for you. But it's extremely powerful. How many of you would like to have unlimited losses? Have you seen what the government does? That basically, if you're a high-income earner, then they take the depreciation away from you. They take your losses away from you, right?
Yeah.
To force you, is that right? To have to force you to pay taxes. Well, guess what? These trusts bypass that and create unlimited losses to offset your ordinary income. Is that a beautiful thing?
It's too late.
No, it's not. It is not too
Last
late.
year.
No, it is not. It is not. You can go B. B. You can go back 3
Yep.
years. You can go back 3 years. I've got the forms, baby. I got the whole thing on it. Is that a beautiful thing? I just made you a pile. A pile. And then there's, I'll show you some more stuff on Saturday. It gets better. Can you believe it could get better?
Wow.
It can get better. I got more. All right, so who's joining me today? How many of you are joining me today? Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Thank you.
I
Thank
have
you.
a question.
Yes.
It's more like a devil's advocate type of question.
Carry on.
I really have a hard time. You know, you set up these multiple trusts, right? Manager is still me. So don't I get to be subpoenaed for, the subject to discovery, and under the law of perjury, I have to disclose what it is, or
You could,
what?
but how did
But
you
just
get?
address
How
it,
did you
though.
become a party to the lawsuit in the first place?
I guess it's not administered anywhere, right? So all they see is a trust with a street name.
Now, let me
I
give
don't
you,
know.
B, let me give you the real concept. And guys, everybody needs to get this. This is the key. Attorneys will talk to you all day long about what they're going to do to you once they get you to court. The game is not to be sued in the first place. The game is for somebody to see that you are a wall they do not want to climb. Because you are a very high wall and a very expensive wall. If they want to get on the other side and see over the other side, it's going to cost them. It's going to cost them big. And then if they get through this wall, they find another wall. Just like in the old days, they get over this wall, there's another wall there. And there's a moat in between. So they're getting wet too. It's called attorney's bills. Once they bill monthly, right? Oh my goodness, people just get real soft on that stuff. But the idea again, guys, is to not be sued in the first place. Leave your assets in your own name, and I wish you the best of luck. Because sooner or later, the odds are in this country, you will be sued. And we never know how bad that lawsuit's going to be. And I'll tell you more about some of my lawsuits that I've been involved in on Saturday. It's big stuff. It's a lot of money. And these things save me every time. Even somebody tried to sue me, and they got a judgment without me even knowing about it, against me personally, without me even knowing about it. Went to my bank to garnish my bank account. And because of this trust right here, this personal property trust, the bank was not able to give them the money. Because I didn't have a bank account there. I did not have a bank account. Me, did not have a bank account there. Me, as my alter ego, had a bank account there. But the judgment was against me, not against me. So I'll tell you the story on Saturday, but it's amazing what happens out there in the real world. And when you're confronted with situations like this, they can't go anywhere. No place to run to, no place to hide. How many of you like that plan?
Can they subpoena the bank?
The bank doesn't know.
Doesn't know.
The bank doesn't have the.
Go ahead and subpoena the bank. Go ahead and subpoena. What are they going to find?
But the bank knows who's the manager.
But
Manager
who are you as trustee what did you do in that lawsuit? You see, if there was something happen on the property, they would sue the trust that owns the property. You as trustee does not own that property. Your bank account does not own that property. Your bank account is over here. See, what I've done is I've separated the real estate from the money. So if they come after the real estate, they can't get the money because the money's in another spot. Got that?
Would
Yes.
it make more sense even not to make yourself as a trustee, but somebody else?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
No, no, hold on, hold on,
Attorney,
hold on, hold on.
you know, it would be even better protection.
You have
What's your
to.
name?
Jesse?
Jesse, watch this one, Jesse. The real estate is going to have other trustees. The money is where you are. You are going to be the trustee of the trust bank account. Because that's where all the checks get written and that's where all the money sits. So that's where you're going to be. But all the real estate is going to have other individuals. And you can even act as trustee for each other. Okay? So if somebody acts as trustee for you, you act as trustee for them. Then there's no trustee fees either. It's a beautiful thing. And some of the best trustees you can ever get are financial friends. Not someone who doesn't understand what's going on. Somebody who completely understands what's going on and they want to support you in it. And you support them as well. So that's another option and opportunity for you. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that's an option. Okay?
Do you have a stand on foreigners who owns real